Don't you just miss it? Old school YouTube. Now, I'm bringing it back. There's a couple other creators that I've seen that are doing this and they're bringing it back and they've been mint. So I thought, why not steal their creation? Because at the end of the day, when YouTube first started, that was the best way to grow. And it still is. Hence why everyone over the last 5 years have tried to replicate Mr. Beast style to an absolute T. And I find because of this trying to replicate Mr. Beast style, YouTube's lost so many cores of what it would be. Now, don't get me wrong, like, I will happily watch a Mr. Beast video because he's the best at it. And when you're the best at something, you'll get the views. The problem is the YouTube algorithm has just been so pinpointed to actually reward that style of content. Like, realistically, I'll be amazed if this video gets over 100 views. Yeah, it's going to get originally pushed by the algorithm, because when you're a brand new channel, that sort of stuff will go on. You'll get pushed a little bit just so YouTube can test the waters on your content. But because I imagine this won't get a very high average view duration because everyone's attention span due to stuff like TikTok and shorts and reels has just gone through the roof, and I'm guilty in that myself. Like, I remember back in the day, I could easily just go sit down and watch just your bog standard YouTube video. Bear in mind that thing would have no editing and it might even be in 360p on like my old Samsung phone. I can remember the first phone I got, it was this little Samsung Galaxy Mini. I wonder if anyone else had one of them. And I would lie in bed at night and I would be having to play the video in 1440 or what is it, 144p, because the internet in my house was just that terrible that it wouldn't load any other way. And normally I'd watch it downstairs, but because I was trying to stay up late and just like sneak my phone from my parents, I'd be there with this phone watching Syndicate or someone basically doing a Minecraft Let's Play in the worst quality known to man. But I loved it. Like, I could sit there and watch that. And like, don't get me wrong, so this is what, 2012? So you have stuff like, go look at a Marvel movie from 2012 and the quality of the thing's insane. So it's not like you weren't exposed to that and everything you seen was shit back then. Like, it was only YouTube because at that point it hadn't had like that mass marketing of like the mainstream media almost get its hands on it. Like, if you uploaded a YouTube video, you knew that person, it was just a sole army of them. Whereas nowadays, even your standard creators have got teams. Basically, my favourite YouTubers of all time, the Sidemen, being English and all, I think that helps with how much I like them. But basically, they have probably a team of 60, 70 people making their stuff. And I love their stuff. Like, don't get me wrong, this is what it sounds weird. I'm not complaining about what YouTube has become. It's almost I reminisce of the old days and do feel like there's room for both on the platform. Like, sometimes I do just want to chill. Like, I don't want to go in like an OCD overdrive of just every sensory getting absolutely battered by subtitles and quick cuts. I just want to chill out and just basically feel like I'm talking to a real person. Because of the Sidemen having these massive teams, you do feel a bit more distant to them, knowing that they aren't the sole creators behind the video. Like, if anything, the editors are the ones that should be getting the rep because they've got the talent. Because the editing is the hardest part about making a video, in my opinion. Like, I've been around it for years. If someone came to me, like when you see those, your JD, your Foot Asylum, or all of that, and they're in a studio and they've got everything set up for the creator to go in, to me that's just not difficult. Like, I could go in, have a prompt card, sit there, be hooked up to a lie detector. That's the easiest part of that entire video process, is that person there. Like, yeah, you have to be personable and have a personality, but I don't think that would be that hard to just like get. I think someone that's actually come through so well recently is a UK guy. So if anyone from America watching this, you wouldn't have heard of him. But he's a bloke called Angry Ginge, and I think he's come so through because he just seems so like relevant to like the average bloke. I mean, the guy's living in what looks like the upstairs of a rundown bar pub, like with the old grandma curtains and stuff like that. So anyone watching him doesn't just see this mega mansion type of stuff. he's just him. But that's streaming. Like, if you then go look on his YouTube side, he's got the highly edited stuff, the subtitles everywhere and all that. And just on a quick note, I need to go find some food. Otherwise, I'm not going to be able to run. Cows. Seems like whatever seed they've put me on, just unless it goes off that way, I'm on like an island. Anyways, I'm going off tangent there, but yeah, they seem personable, like you can relate to them. I'll tell you what, the biggest one at the minute, they've been all over stuff, is FaZe Clan. FaZe Clan, like back in 2015, I want to say it was, when they had the New York house, that was the stuff you wanted to be in. If you were like a gamer on Call of Duty, the pinnacle you could reach would be getting into FaZe Clan. Like, you would be fairly set. First of all, if you got into FaZe Clan, because of how loyal their audience was, you're just going to be guaranteed to start pulling views on your videos. Like, it would be guaranteed. Nowadays, if someone joins it, it's no guarantee at all. Like, the name doesn't hold that much weight anymore. And I think they killed their trust with their audience. And they know that. Like, they're trying to reset. And up until earlier, I was little bit disagreeing on how they went about it. I do think they've got a lot of things wrong, but then some of their pickups, they've been all right. Like Lacey, I just don't know what sort of route they want to go down. Like, are they really going down, we're just going to go IRL, like we want funny people? Or are they going to go down, we want to remake gaming? Because with who they picked to keep and didn't pick to keep just made no sense. Because you've got Jev in there, and in my opinion, Jev is the best FaZe member there has ever been. Like, you look at that guy, he's never ever got involved with like, oh, I want that LA lifestyle, I want this. He just literally is a gamer. He just loves gaming and will just sit there, play any game he wants and pull views and entertain. And he pulls the views because you just watch the content for Jev. You're not watching his content for him. You're watching it because you just want to see what Jev's doing, what he's got to say on an opinion. Like, the main thing he does is, when I watch his videos, he'll be talking about UFC, and I don't even watch UFC, but I get like intrigued as to who he thinks about these fights and what's going to happen and all of that. So he's stuck to his roots and he's still seeing the success. So there would still be plenty of room for that in FaZe Clan, but instead they seem to not want that. But then it's like, oh, do you want to go down the gaming route with Jev and your people like FaZe Swag? So they kept them, and then they've also then just gone and picked up people that are completely irrelevant and not from a gaming route. Think, who was the first person they picked up? He was called like, Playboy, something. Anyway, they picked the first one up, and I thought, I wonder who this is going to be. I'll go check him out. And I went on one of his streams, and I just didn't know what was going on. Like, he was basically sat at his computer the whole time, and I quite enjoyed that. Like, don't get me wrong, like, the bits I watched, he's entertaining as, like, he is funny, but I just don't know what he's about and what he'll bring to FaZe Clan. Like, that could be that if I watch him a bit more, like, I'll understand, like, what he's about. Like, I'm talking as this from, I hardly know about him, I hardly know about what he does. Not talking about him as a huge mega fan, knowing exactly what he could bring to FaZe Clan. And the one thing I will say is Banks does seem smart and switched on. He knew the problems were there and had to be addressed. Like, they kicked a lot of people from their clan. Did they all deserve it? No. Did people have to go? Yes. Did the staff have to go? Yes, absolutely. He said something, he was talking in a podcast that they had 140 members of staff this time last year. What were they doing? Because you've got that big of a content team, yet your channel is pushing out virtually nothing. You're maybe getting a few tweets here and there. Like, it does just make absolutely no sense as to what they were doing. So that needed to go. Like, you look back, and this is where I bring the whole topic back to the original and OG days of YouTube. When FaZe Clan were in their FaZe house, and when YouTube was just first starting off, those guys were just one-man armies. They managed to sit there and they would grind and play Xbox all day, going for clips, and then they would straight away record their video. Then they would then go edit their own video, make their own thumbnail, title the video, reply to all the comments. Every tiny integrated detail was done by one person. So how, when you have a team of 140 working on a YouTube channel, and that's just one channel, like these guys might have 2 or 3 channels, like FaZe Rain used to have his vlogs channel and his main channel. But how, when you have all of those people, can you not get out better content? I mean, that's where so many people are going wrong. Like, the only ones I actually think that are doing it absolutely perfect, and who FaZe Clan back in 2016 when they moved to LA, they should have modelled their entire thing off of what the Sidemen did. And the Sidemen only works because they're good friends. Like, you can tell they are genuine friends in their videos, because A, I don't think they'd have gone on for that long if they weren't. B, they bully the heck out of each other. And for Americans out there, you guys might be the same, but like, genuinely, the main core principle of being British and having a British friend is you bully them. Like, seriously bully them. And you can see that in the video. I think I saw a clip earlier, and it was Ethan, one of the Sidemen members. He had to go to hospital because he had a really bad asthma attack, and he had posted about it on his stories, so like the supporters knew. And then a TikTok or something came up, and it was basically, he was just there, and he's gone to the hospital, whatever, and they're doing like a behind the scenes of the Sidemen video. And then Harry, who is probably the funniest bloke on YouTube, he is just there laughing about it, just basically bullying him, saying he had like polio and had to go to the hospital. Like, that sums up British humour. Like, when something's bad or down, we just make fun of it. And I do wonder, like, what YouTube has to hold in the near future, because I know I won't be the only one that's starting to just feel sick and tired of how it's gone. I can't watch it as much as I want to anymore, and I don't know if that's the algorithm that pushes the videos in my home feed I just don't get along with. Like, there isn't actually much I want to watch. Like, I'll watch one type of video once, and then YouTube will just pepper my home feed with that being the only type of video. So say I go on and I watch one Minecraft video, that's all I'm going to get. I'm just going to get Minecraft after Minecraft video on my home feed, nothing else, literally. Whereas back in the day, I wouldn't even go on the home feed to find videos, to be fair. There used to be the subscription box that was pushed, so I'd go on and I'd know, in my subscription box, like, every video that I'm going to see in here is probably one I'm going to be interested in because I've subscribed to this channel. And getting subscribers actually meant something. Like, right now, subscribers don't mean anything. Like, it is all about getting your views on the homepage. That's why this channel with 0 subscribers, it will actually get views far faster than trying to grow from 0 back in the day. It'll plateau very quickly because if anyone's even watching to this stage right now, just comment banana, just so I can prove some point. But this video will get views, and that is everything that is almost wrong with YouTube now. You don't need an audience. They don't appreciate your lasting audience.